Sorry, I had to.
Cool. So, so just one note from last week. Just make sure that we're doing our best to not talk over each other. Okay, ready to go. Let's do it. All right. Let's begin. So, when last we left off, you all were in the lower dining room area of the Dragon's Den Inn. You have met 4 adventurers: Oriana. Oh shit! I told myself that I wouldn't close this window. Hold on. Oriana, Belvar, Rakan, and Shazix, who are members of an explorers guild. They've agreed to allow you to come along with them as they complete a contract on a person named Jas, who is apparently using monster labor. And that's all you really know about him. You still have a fee to settle with the dragon and his wife, the proprietors of this inn. Other than that, I think that's everything. So what do you guys want to do?
Let's pay the fee, right?
Yeah, let's pay our bill.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Okay. The drow woman approaches you all, seeing that you're preparing to leave, and she has a slip of paper in her hand, which you recognize as your bill.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead.
Okay. No, it's okay. You said and, so I was like, and yeah. Okay, I'll go. So I'm like, oh, what a nice piece of paper you got there. So, is it time to pay, right?
Yes, indeed. So, 1 glass of cinnamon shanty, 3 cups of water, and 2 rooms for the price of 1. All told, that will come to 5 gold.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Hey guys, I'll take it on me. I'll take it. I'll pay for it. So I enter over my 5 gold. Yeah. As simple as that. Yeah.
Okay. She takes your 5 gold. And she walks over to the dragon sitting on his pile of treasure and drops it into his pile and walks away.
I look back at them and I'm like, see guys, that was my plan all along.
My plan was to pay.
You literally
Pay for us all?
literally do what you're okay.
All right. Well, Belvar heads for the door, and Orion says, "Well, if you're all ready, let's head out."
Yes. Yeah, I guess I'm heading out. Yeah.
Okay, everyone ready to go?
Onward we go.
Okay. As you leave the Dragon's Den, you can hear sort of shuffling around and the sound of a couple of hands maybe playing together from the tent, which is set up beside it, where Balzar and Spen have set up their shop. And out in front of it is an older Dragonborn man with some fishing gear. Oriana and Belvar don't pay much attention to him, and they walk in the opposite direction to go around the Dragon's Den and set off into the woods.
Okay. As I go, past the what's his name? What's the name of the merchant?
Which one? The dwarf or the gnome?
The The one that is not like shy.
The one that is shy or the one that's not shy?
The one that is not shy. The one with the bag that opens up.
That's Balzor.
Yeah.
The dwarf.
I walk past Balzor and I look at him straight in the eye and I say, "I'll see you later."
Oh, thank you. I'll look forward to your business. And then he coughs a little. Okay. He's currently looking at the shop and he doesn't seem to hear you.
As we're walking by, I glance at him and be like, and I just kind of like keep going.
Alrighty.
Things are happening.
And okay. So you I see my face. I see my face over there. Wait,
Well, if I have roll up, I can't have your faces up. So I'm going to see if switching between the two when we're not doing anything important with the Roll20 map.
That's fair.
I dropped my D20, so.
Nice. Okay. You can hear me though, right? Cool. So, okay. So as you guys head off into the woods, the two lizard men sort of take the lead for you. You notice that they are pretty good about not letting their footfalls be heard. They're pretty stealthy. They're pretty quiet, and they get further and further ahead of you until eventually Oriana calls out to them and says, "You two be careful. Try to check in every hour." And one of them turns around, makes a rasp, which doesn't seem to mean anything to those of you who speak Draconic, but she seems to take it as a yes. And then they disappear from sight, leaving you with Oriana and Belvar. Belvar is the next in the lead, and Oriana is sort of walking next to Endr.
Okay. I start walking backward, just like I did last time. So I kind of like walking like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of, since Oriana's kind of next to me, I kind of turn to her and be like, are they ahead? Are they just scouting ahead, or do they just like to move fast?
They're very impatient. However, they do make good scouts. That my understanding is that they come from a hunting background, perhaps. They don't talk much about where they came from, but that's what I think.
All right.
Okay. And I'll ask her, do you know where we are heading? Do you have a map or a compass or something?
We have a sort of a general map. It's not been proven to be 100% reliable, but we believe that it should lead us to where we're going to.
Okay. And what are the probabilities that we are going to get lost?
Oh, I doubt that we'll get lost. My understanding is that the hunting camp, or the logging camp, is on the edge of the forest, and that it's marked by several large smoke plumes. So it should be fairly visible from a distance.
Okay. Okay.
So, Endr.
Zogle's actually gonna pipe up really quick and be like, so if we're trying to move quietly, then y'all's need to be here. And with my racial feat, I have exactly 1 cast of this per day of Pass Without a Trace.
Well, although I am fond of stealth spells, those two are far too confident in their own skills to allow for that. If you wish to cast it upon the group of us, so as not to alert any passing animals or anything of that sort, then that would be fine. But they won't accept it. I've tried before.
It's probably for the best if we're all a bit on the quiet side.
Yeah.
Very well. Okay, so you're gonna cast Without a Trace?
Yeah, so any stealth check that you guys make, it's +10.
Okay, how long does that last for?
I believe it's an hour or 2. Let me double check.
Yeah, check that. Because it might not be. If it's only a few minutes, then you would probably want to cast it yet.
Yeah. Okay. So if I want to like look around and see if there are any like
Concentration up to an hour.
Up to an hour. Okay.
Okay.
So do you want to cast it now?
If that's within, wise words, if she thinks that's the right time to do so.
Are you asking Oriana?
Yes, she seems to be the one that knows the most about what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, I believe that we're a little far out to be using it currently, but once we get closer.
I want to look around for any like footprints or animal like footprints. Is that a survival check or perceptions check?
We'll do a. Are you proficient in survival?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. Are you familiar? And you're familiar with fey creatures, so I'll give you actually a +2 on that.
Okay. Oh, 19.
19. Yeah, absolutely. This place seems to be a bit of a hotbed for fey activity, actually. There are a few larger animal tracks, as well as woodland critters that you might expect, rabbits, squirrels, things like that. Maybe the occasional bear, but they don't. It doesn't seem that they're incredibly prolific. But fey creatures, there is a fairly large variety of them within the woods.
Okay. So like I look at Blue and I'm like, oh, family is here. Like, here's your people. And I look to the other guy and I'm like, there are fays here.
All right, Blue is visibly excited to see other fey creatures.
So we just keep walking straight forward, right?
Okay. As you guys are walking, Oriana says, do any of you, and she's kind of looking at Kyr'nes, and she says, do any of you speak Draconic at all? Oh, you two. That's wonderful. Just the two of you? Okay.
Oh no, it's just him. I'm just pointing at.
Oh, just him? You don't speak Draconic? Oh, you're not telling her you speak Draconic.
Sylvan.
Oh, you speak. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Good to know. Okay, so Kyr'nes, she walks up beside you and she says, would you mind terribly if I practice my Draconic with you? It's still a little new to me, and without the other two here, I don't have anyone to practice with. That's wonderful. Let's see here. And then she begins to speak to you in Draconic. She starts with a greeting. And she says, hello, I'm Oriana. And then she sort of looks at the rest of you to see if you're listening in.
I'm
And
just kind of like,
go ahead.
personally am not like particularly listening in because it's like, oh, they're speaking Draconic, I don't understand it. And I'm just like looking around the forest, noticing like small fey creatures moving around like in the bush and whatnot.
Yeah, and they're everywhere. They definitely are trying to avoid you guys, but they are also very curious about these travelers, right? So they, you see a head poke out from time to time, and if you spot them, then they disappear, and there's some giggling. Oriana looks at you, Kyr'nes, and says, in Draconic, all this is in Draconic, she says, so your friend, that's Azure, I believe is his name. And Azure, you hear your name, as there isn't really a Draconic, kind of thing, or maybe you're even familiar with it if there is. And she says, have you been friends long? Indeed. I have to admit, I'm a little concerned about him. There's a magical trace on him that isn't his own. Perhaps it would be best if I showed you. And she places her hand on your shoulder. And for a moment, you can see things as Oriana sees them. All around you can see traces of fey magic. There are sparkles in the air that sort of drift through the sunbeams. And as you look at Azure, there is sort of an odd greenish glow surrounding him. And she removes her hand, and it disappears. And she says, it appears to be some sort of beacon. I just worry because last week he was asking me about curses, and not last week, yesterday.
Last week? We went there for a week?
It's a nice inn. He mentioned demons. I want to make sure that we're with reputable folk. I feel it's not my place, but if you know him better, so if you wish to ask him, just maybe don't say that I told you. Well, very well. Indeed. Cool. So you guys continue to walk. Anyone have any?
Can I do like a person, like, since I'm fully aware of like my environment, can I do like a perception check to look out if there's something else than fairies around?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, I rolled a 9.
You rolled a 9. Okay, well, you yeah, nope. There doesn't appear to be. Fairies in front, fairies behind, Every once in a while, a tiny squirrel will cross your path, but then it turns around. Turns out it's another fairy. It's just got a squirrel tail. So, not fairies. It's fairies all the way down.
Okay.
This is cool.
Perfect.
Cool. So about an hour passes, and there's a small rustle ahead of you as Razak and Shazix emerge from some bushes. They have a brief conversation with Oriana, which I will get your name, Kyr'nes. Kyr'nes, you're able to understand them. Anyone? No, you're the only one who speaks Draconic, right? So, okay. You're able to understand them. It's just sort of a general check-in. They're saying, we haven't seen anything yet. We'll report back soon. And then they disappear again. Another hour passes. They return. And they say, we've spotted evidence that we might be getting close, but we haven't seen the camp yet. After they leave, about 20 minutes go by, and you come across a tree. It has been sort of almost charred and blackened. Not so much charred as rotted.
Mm-hmm.
And there's, at the bottom of it, just at ground level, there is a large core of it that is missing. Almost like a... okay, I don't have a comparison to it. There's it's sort of an arch, and it looks like the middle has been pulled out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do a nature check to see what kind of force would have done that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Lol.
What'd you get?
12.
Do you have a 0 in nature?
I have a 2 in nature. I have a 0 in intelligence.
Okay, so did you roll a 12 or did it add 12 there? Did you roll 10?
I rolled a 10 and got 12.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so there is definitely some sort of like this tree didn't die because of like lack of nutrition or anything like that, and it doesn't seem to be any of the naturally occurring diseases that you're familiar with in the region.
Guys, this forest is plentiful. There is no reason for a tree to rot in this way.
Yeah. Can I do a Arcana? Like, can I do Arcana to see if there's magic?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. So that's 15 plus. I got 20. Unnatural 20.
Fantastic, yeah. And actually, so you, upon your inspection of the tree, you notice sort of veins on the inside in the wood, which don't seem 100% plant-based. They sort of seem like actual veins from within a living creature. And the pattern of them shows that they were feeding into whatever was pulled out from the center of the tree. You're familiar with magical corruption of this type, and whatever was pulled out drained everything that this tree had in terms of life force to fuel itself.
Okay. So I start crying.
Ew.
And I look back at
Poor tree.
I look back at the guys and I'm like, oh well, maybe we should keep either going or maybe we should like keep really going. Like maybe like that's scary.
Well, what did you see?
Okay, so basically, I think something sucked out all of the life out of this tree. And it's not natural, and it's not like it's not from a beast or a common creature. That's for sure.
I'm gonna look at Oriana and be like, "Do you know anything about this?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, it seems to have the same sort of force as the corruption that I was reading before, but I don't recognize it.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a vial out, and is there like gunk from the veins or
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can if you were to. Do you want to do like a? No, I'll just let you do it. Yeah, you're able to collect some. It's a strange mixture between sap and blood, and you're able to collect a vial of that if you want.
Is it doing anything to the vial?
Nope.
So it's just sap and blood of some kind.
I mean,
I'll
if
do
you
a little
wanted,
research later.
yeah, cool.
But as far as we can tell, it's
As far as you can tell, like it doesn't glow, it doesn't sing, anything like that.
Can I look back at Oriana and tell her, you are sure you've never seen that before?
I am, unfortunately.
Okay.
Can I do a perception check to see if she's lying or an insight? Or
Yeah, you can do an insight check if you want.
I feel like I go up to the tree and place my hand where it's like not all corroded and gross.
Lord, I'm rolling like
Place my
snot.
hand on the...
As far as you can tell,
I don't know what this shit is. I don't want to get it on my hands.
Zogle, as far as you can tell, there's no deception.
Oh, can I take the dagger that I bought from the kobold, like not the kobold, from the merchant, and dip the end of it into the goopy stuff?
Yeah. So Endr, first you said you were putting your hand on it. Is that right?
I want to like just put my hand on like just the normal bark of the tree and just like I have this very sad look like on my face.
Yeah.
Like and I'm just kind of like I mumble something in Sylvan, essentially like translating into "Poor tree, may your soul rest" or something like that.
Very nice. Yeah, it sort of smudges a little bit off onto your hand, just this sort of like black. It's not liquid. It's just sort of like almost like an ash consistency, a little bit. And Azure, as you stab into the gunky part, the tree doesn't react. Your blade doesn't seem to corrode or anything like that. It seems to be a non-magical substance.
Okay.
Yeah, as if some magic acted upon it to make it act this way, but it didn't create magic like through it.
Okay. Good. So what do you want to do, guys? Do you want to keep moving forward? Yeah.
Whatever this is, it's endangering our forest. We should move forward with this.
I agree. I think we should keep moving. We can examine the samples that we all got later.
Yeah. That's a great idea. Let's go.
Cool.
As I start walking backward again. Yep.
Okay. So you guys walk on for another, say, 15 minutes, and you encounter another tree, same as the first. Something's been pulled out of it. Can I get everyone to do an intelligence check for me? Just straight intelligence.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to pull up my stat sheet.
Ooh, yes. Wow, look at you. Yeah, as a wizard, that's like your thing, right? Yeah.
9. 9 plus.
Hey, I have no bonus and I got the high roll.
Okay.
I got 10.
Anyone higher than a 16?
I got a 17.
I got an 18.
18. Okay. Well, as a wizard, you know, you're very trained in not only magics but also maths, because that's sort of an important thing for alchemy. You know, you notice math has nothing to do with what I'm about to tell you. So, but you notice that there's bark spread in front of the hole, and so rather than something like biting a chunk out of this or whatever, like whatever was of the tree, yeah, whatever came out of the tree started inside of it. It didn't burrow in. It came from within the tree. So.
Okay.
Okay. So are you guys gonna continue walking?
Can I do one more nature check with that kind of knowledge?
Well,
Sure.
yeah. Just be like, I'm essentially like, oh yeah, guys.
Mhm.
It seems like whatever ruined this tree was from within it. Da-da-da. So now common knowledge within the group.
Okay.
Yes.
Crap!
So that's an 11. You have heard of this. Like you remember very vaguely your mother, who is, I believe we discussed, she's a healer. This is sort of up her alley, and you remember her telling you something to this effect. So it's in there somewhere in your brain, but you don't know exactly what the cause of this is. You'll have to think on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're trying to determine what kind of magic this is? Okay, sure.
Can I help him?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are both arcane users. You can give him advantage.
Okay, I'll give you a.
Okay. You are not able to discern. What is that?
Yeah, me and Kyr'nes were just looking at it and we're scratching our heads and we're like, yeah.
Guys, there's a tree right here.
There's a tree.
That's a thing.
Cool.
I've met some trees before. Yup, that's a tree.
At this point, Belvar kind of growls back at you all, and he says, "We're taking too long. We need to continue moving."
Yeah,
Okay.
we're all very caught up on this poor tree.
And it's not just you guys. Oriana too is like looking at this like, oh whoa, like this is super interesting. But she doesn't really have much to contribute. She doesn't know what's going on.
Okay. Yeah. So as we walk, can I look at Ariana? I mean, since I'm walking backward, she's probably in front of me or something.
Sure.
Can I look at her and ask her like, hey, Oriana, so I was wondering, what do you do successfully? Like, do you have any tricks that are helpful, or any skills that could be used?
Well, I'm certainly not a great wizard, but I'm an illusionist, actually. Yes.
How fun! And then I look at the other guys and I'm like, she's an illusionist!
Yes.
You're so perceptive. My goodness.
Okay.
It comes in handy for well, I'm not much of a fighter, of course, but I mean I can support the boys.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. Well, that's neat.
Thank you. She's
could
very
say-
proud.
Yeah. Well,
I could say you're good at lying.
Good at. I mean,
Oh,
Wow.
sorry.
yeah. Maybe you can teach me one day some of your tricks.
oh, certainly,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. I'd be happy to share. I have a spellbook full of them, so I can demonstrate whenever you like.
Yeah.
Perhaps not today. Perhaps on a date when my magic has a less useful purpose.
Yeah.
I certainly wouldn't mind sitting in on those either. It sounds like a rather interesting lesson.
And she's like visually she's visibly like puffing up, like she's really excited. Like she's really appreciating all this praise.
She's all like,
Are there any animals near that tree, by the way? I'm just kind of like ignoring everybody and staring at the dead tree. Are there any animals getting near it or being okay with it?
Do you want to do a perception check for me?
Ooh, yeesh.
Hmm.
Okay. 21. Yeah. So you notice that around these trees, not only are there no animal tracks, but the Fae, which have pretty much been a constant for you guys, they seem to have cleared out. Like they don't want to be around it.
Does anybody else notice that we are significantly less surrounded by cute magical creatures?
I kind of like peek my head up and kind of like turn my head away from Oriana, and I kind of like look around, because as I'm used to like seeing fake creatures and whatnot, I'm like, oh, like I kind of like realize that he's right. I hadn't even like noticed. You're right.
Seems while we're busy learning about how to lie, cheat, and steal, we're not exactly in a good spot.
Okay, so I'm like, hey, Blue, do you feel anything strange on your part? Do you have any insights?
Well, I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it. I was sort of listening to all of you. They're interesting. I don't feel anything from it. It just doesn't seem like a very nice place.
Okay.
I suggest we move forward quietly.
Yeah.
Agreed. I feel like I kind of like very like timidly am like looking around at the surroundings after Zogle has pointed out that there's a lack of fey creatures. As like I've found fey creatures very comforting in the past to be around, especially like small like fairies and whatnot of the forest.
Yeah.
So like a lack of them is kind of noticing that there's a lack of them has kind of begun to like unsettle me just a little bit, but I kind of keep my shoulders straight and keep going along with everyone.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, for my part, I'm still walking while looking behind the group, but now I'm also crouching, because you know,
Being
crouching
stealthy.
is good. Yeah.
No.
Okay. So
Crouch
do you, guys,
walking.
do you guys want to move forward stealthily then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Can I get stealth checks for everyone?
Yeah.
I will go ahead and cast Pass Without a Trace before we do so.
Okay. What does that?
So
how much?
add 10 to your stealth roll.
Oh, shoot. Let me look at Belvard. Holy crap.
I rolled another 18, so that would be 28 with the plus 10.
She gone.
Bye.
So it's a +10 plus our stealth proficiency, well, our stealth bonus, right?
Yeah.
So I got a 31.
Oh my god.
Wait.
What are you?
Wait, G.
Okay.
G. What was my stealth? So I'm with Azure over there. I'm like 31. We're like, yeah, be quiet. Not a peep's coming out of us.
Awesome. So yeah, as you guys move forward, you start once you get further away from the tree, you do start to see Faye again, and you start to like be able to get really close to them without them noticing you. Like they're just going about their business, picking mushrooms and stuff, and there's like a lot less giggling because they don't know you're there. So good job on that.
I'm very like pleased that I can be this close to Faye again. I'm just kind of like, I have like a little smile on my face as we're walking because like,
Yeah. Fantastic. So you guys go about another 25, 30 minutes. And there's no sign of the lizard men. Oriana and Belvar don't seem too worried about it. They continue on their way. But as another 10 minutes sort of creeps by, you go past a couple more of these trees, same as the other ones, and Belvar is sort of getting noticeably irritable, and Oriana looks a little bit worried.
Is there a pattern to these trees? Like, is there like a layout of how many they're being torn out at any given acre or whatever?
Do you want to? I want to make you roll for it. There does not appear to be a pattern. The ground that you walk on, however, it starts with the trees, and then slowly the bushes start to lose color. The grass starts to die in patches. It's not full complete, but as you continue on, something is affecting the forest more and more.
Can I look to see if it's these veins spreading out through the ground?
There do not appear to be any veins, no.
Oriana, this is becoming more and more uncomfortable.
Well, you don't have to come with us if you don't want to, but we have to go on ahead.
Okay. Can we maybe?
You're visibly shaken. Is there something you know more that you're not telling us? It would be a lot more helpful if we can help you.
I'm just worried about the other two. They're usually fairly punctual, It's unlike them to miss a check-in.
I was going to mention it. It does seem like it had been about an hour since the last time they'd shown.
Belvar looks back and he says, we'll give them 10 more minutes, and if we don't hear from them, then we'll go find them, I guess. I don't know what to do in that case.
Okay. Yeah, so are we moving forward or are we waiting for them?
If you want to rest, we can. I mean, they'll be heading back this way.
Okay. I mean,
if we take a 10-minute rest, I may be able to get us some more information from the natives, so to say.
yeah. Good idea.
I've been walking for a good few hours. I think it might be wise for us to rest our feet for a moment.
Okay, that seems like a good idea, don't you think, Belvar? And he kind of and says, I'm going to walk a perimeter.
So with that 10 minutes, I will ritual cast Speak with Animals, because I don't want to waste spell slots.
Rad. Okay, sounds good. Remind me how this is going to work here.
Oh, I just do whatever I want and hope for the best. Give me 1 second.
You're struck by lightning.
Zogle dies, new character.
Peace, Zogle. Really awkward to roll. It's been really awkward to roll my dice since I'm on my bed. So they just kind of hit my mattress and then just go. So I'm kind of like.
Yeah.
I just kind of like go with whatever it lands on.
Here, I can pull that up while you're looking for it too. Then I'll have it in front of me. There we go. Speak with animals. Okay. To communicate with the Beast Federation. Minimum. Give your information. Okay. Yeah, that's easy. Okay, so you can speak with animals. And you are able to okay, now you're able to talk to animals. There's plenty around. Do you want to do something to maybe get one of their attention? What do you want to do?
I'm pulling out some acorns and I'm gonna talk to a squirrel.
Okay. So the rest of you watch as Zogle approaches a tree, I guess, probably.
A nice, healthy-looking tree, yeah.
Right, not a good tree. And a squirrel approaches down to lower branches, trying to get one of his acorns.
Hello, small friend. How are you today?
I'm good, acorn, please.
Of course. But could you do me one favor? Could you tell me about what's been lurking around maybe the past few hours? Day?
Oh, lurking. Too tall, and she does kind of they were really quiet. They walked like you, and they had tails, and they were scaly. Acorn?
I hand him an acorn.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah. They didn't talk like you though. They talked weird.
Most people do speak weird. Most people don't speak squirrel.
But even when you're not talking to me, even that other stuff, they weren't talking like that either. It sounded mean.
Wait, is Draconic German? Did I pick up any words in Draconic?
Probably not. No.
Okay. Yeah, that's
None
right.
that
I'm
you
not
could
really
translate
attentive.
to like an animal.
Okay. Did it sound like a predator?
Uh-huh.
I hand him another acorn.
Thank you.
You're running out of hands, friend.
I know. He's got like one under each arm.
Thank you for everything.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just gonna pat him on the little head, real cute, like, let him go.
But that's not all though. You see, do you have more acorns with you?
Sure, of course.
Okay. He's like, that's not all. There's more.
Okay, well, what can you tell me?
Okay, there is a lot that way, and he points in the same direction as the as you assume the camp to be, the same direction you guys have been walking that way. And they're really mean. Your guys sounded mean, but they're really mean. They're not nice.
Okay, I pull out a walnut.
Thanks.
Great. Is there any other knowledge?
That's all the people that I saw.
You have been the most fantastic of company. Thank you so much.
Uh-huh. And he runs up the tree.
Well, friends, there's lots of big, tall creatures that walk on two legs and sound angry.
Good to know, I suppose.
Well, okay.
Although his explanation seems to be a little more geared towards your friends, Oriana.
Well, that means we might be on the right track.
Scaly, angry sounding. Yep.
That's them.
You're kind of like, I feel so angry.
I hear that.
Okay, so should we keep going then, or should we still rest a bit to?
Well, according to what the squirrel is saying, is there is quite a few mean creatures there. So if we're going, we're most likely not coming out without a few scratches.
Good thing I'm here then.
Yeah. Well, guys, I guess it's up to you. I'll follow the group.
You sound so faithful and
Yeah, I really am faithful. I'll stick with the group. I believe in every one of us.
Are you feeling all right, Asher?
So do we keep going or not? What do you think, Oriana? What do you want to do?
Well, I mean, the only thing we know is that they were scouting ahead for the camp, so the logical thing to do would be to head that way. If you're all, I mean, you don't have to come, like I said, but I do.
Yeah, well, I look straight in her eyes and I say, we can't let a beautiful woman like you go alone.
Oh. Of course.
Zogle's just gonna stare at the two and be like, yeah, so courageous, and just start wandering towards the camp.
She turns around and yells for Bear. What is his name? Belvar. He yells for Belvar. Belvar, we're going on ahead. No response.
Didn't he say that he was just doing a perimeter check?
Yes,
As a bear, I would assume he would have pretty good hearing.
You'd think. And from about maybe 100 yards in front of you towards the camp, you hear a yell and the sound of a bear.
I think he found the camp.
I agree. I think we should get going.
Oh, Oriana is kind of scanning the little bit of skyline that she can see through the trees, and she says, "We're not close enough yet."
What could be those screams?
I think everyone should. Oh, go ahead.
You're okay. Oriana says, "I don't know," and she runs in the direction.
I'll follow her.
I'll follow as well, because I don't want anything bad to happen to either Zogle or Oriana, so...
Okay.
I'll follow last. I'll go like last. I'll wait for the whoever is going to go first, and then I'll follow.
Okay. Cool. You guys run about 75 yards maybe through the woods, and you come into there's sort of some roots that have created a natural sort of sideways arc, and Belvar is there on his forelegs, and he has a tiny creature trapped up against the roots. And the creature is making a racket and just yelling, and he's saying, "Get away from me, bear!" With like a very fast, high-pitched voice.
Okay.
It appears to be some sort of a fae.
Belvar, we have rations. You don't necessarily need to eat the fae.
It was spying on us.
A fae?
Oh, in that case.
What would a fae be doing spying on us?
I don't know, but this isn't like the other ones. This isn't some winged pretty thing. It's not from here.
I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna like be above its face, being like, "Oh, hello there."
Why do you go away? You're... Oh. And he looks at Belvar, and he looks at Oriana, and he says, "Oh, you're who I'm looking for. Hello."
Oh, I have a very confused look on my face. I'm just like kind of watching this happen, and I'm like, looking for?
Yeah.
What are these people gotten themselves into?
I look at Blue and I ask, like, "Do you know who that is?"
Ooh, let's see if Blue knows. Ah! Okay, let's pull the board out. Blue, we haven't picked out Blue's stats. This will be enough. Fine. No, I'm sorry, Azure. I'm not familiar with those. It's definitely a fae, though.
Okay.
He says, "I heard from your friends that you two might want to come play a game with us." He says all that really fast, too. I keep forgetting to do it fast. I heard you would like to play a game.
The
I have-
only people
I-
you would have spoken with. Oh, I'm sorry. Go, please.
Sorry. I kind of have like the opposite kind of reaction to Kyr'nes, kind of like being like, oh my gosh, golly gosh, the game, instead kind of just being like kind of knowing that some Fae, their games aren't the safest, and I'm kind of giving a very skeptical look and kind of like tightening my grip on my staff a little bit, just kind of be like, kind of keeping a very like close eye on what this Fae is saying.
Well, the only friends that you would have spoken to are not exactly the game playing type.
Oh, they were very resistant, but we got the information we needed. We knew that if they didn't want to play our game, that maybe they might have some friends who would. Yes. They took very much convincing, but we got your names eventually. Oriana and Belvar.
Belvar, I vote you eat him.
Where are they? Is like the worst thing. And he says, oh, I'd be happy to show you where they are. They're with my friends.
Okay. Like, are your friends, friendly?
My friends are very friendly. They love games.
Okay. What? So, what kind of games?
Oh, we play all sorts of games. We play who can climb down from the tree without breaking their neck. We play who can hold their breath underwater for the longest. And tonight they've got a new game that they want to play with you and your friends. It's called I believe it's called Red Apple Red Man.
So why would we want to play your game?
Well, your friends don't have a choice. If you don't come and play with us, then we'll have to find someone else to play with them.
They're holding the lizard men hostage.
We love games, you see.
I kind of like step in a little bit. I'm like, what sort of this game is the one that you want us to play? I'd like you to explain it to us before we go anywhere.
Oh,
I just like to know the rules. Good.
Sorry.
No, I thought I had something else to say, and then
Okay.
my brain cut itself off.
Okay. I don't know the rules. You'll have to speak to the game master. He's our leader. I'm just the messenger. I'm the quickest.
Clearly, by how quickly you talk.
You're right, but you hear the stereotype. The messenger always dies.
Oh, I've never heard that stereotype before. But you'll have to kill me. If you wait, no. Hold on. I just got really excited there. Sorry. That didn't make any sense. Sorry, my brain sometimes I just get a little schizophrenic. You'll have to kill me to kill me. Brilliant. If you kill me, you'll never find your friends. It's very simple. They are. The old goblin camp. Oh, but don't worry, it's not as bad as it sounds. There are no goblins there anymore. Yes, exactly.
So are you telling us that you took down the goblins for us?
Oh, no, they were gone long before we got there.
Interesting. Um, where is your game master?
He's at the camp. So are your friends. That's where the game is.
Oriana, how important are these lizards to you?
It's part of signing up to the guild. We have to do everything in our power to save their lives. I won't expect you all to go. This could be very dangerous, and he's not here for you. But me and Belmar have to go.
We could just torture it.
Oh.
I look at the thing and I ask, do you have any weapons at your camp?
Oh, certainly. These are very dangerous woods, and we have to feed ourselves.
Okay. Well, what do you guys want to do?
Well, I can't exactly leave someone to go possibly be in danger. It would go against my morals.
Okay.
I made a commitment, so I guess I have to stick with it.
Yes.
Okay, then I'll follow. I guess I don't want to stick here alone. So I think we're gonna follow you, Mr. or Mrs. or whatever you are, Faye. Person.
I'm a female, of course. My name is probably something like Tyr'nes. My name is Tyr'nes.
Kyr'nes.
What a pretty name for a pretty little deadly girl.
Thank you. So, shall we go?
Yes, I suppose we should, and I kind of tighten my grip on my staff a little more. Like,
Okay.
just like, I'm very like this is not very good, but I need to be there to help folks.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. Okay. Bilbar, let's Tyr'nes go. And she just zips away, like, incredibly fast. Disappears for a moment and then comes back into view and says, I apologize, I forget, you're not as fast as me.
Oh, yeah, you'd be surprised.
Thank you for accommodating our speed.
Of course. And she leads you off in a direction. And Blue, sitting on your shoulder, Azure, she snaps her fingers and says, Quickling. She's a quickling. That's what she is.
Oh,
I've heard of them.
well, thanks for telling us now.
They're not very dangerous. They're mostly tricksters.
Sounds we're in for a party. Okay. So we just keep following her? I'm guessing so.
Okay. Anyone want to do anything else other than follow?
I am keeping my eyes peeled as we walk, like some hardcore, not wanting to die.
Yeah.
I'm kind of right up there with Zogle, just kind of like I'm very I'm trying to be as aware as absolutely possible of as we move forward towards this camp.
Okay.
My eyes is bleeding, so I'm using the blood from my eyes to like trace, like to put some on the ground to like trace where the path.
Yeah. Okay.
Comedically enough, I was actually going to say I'm druid crafting like awkward colored flowers in certain spots.
So both of you next to each other, like, without even really realizing. over here, flowers over here. Perfect. Cool. So you travel almost the exact opposite direction that you were traveling before, except a little bit. So we'll say you were heading north. Now you're heading southwest.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Yeah. You travel for quite a while. Maybe an hour, maybe. And you start to hear chanting. And it sounds like a song in Sylvan. So who speaks Sylvan?
I speak Sylvan.
In your world, is Elvish and Sylvan the same language?
It's probably derivative. So if you speak Elvish, you can probably get the gist.
Cool. Yeah, I speak Elvish.
So like you don't understand like exactly what's going on, but you sort of like you're like, oh, okay, maybe they're singing about this subject kind of thing. And it's sort of a rhymey kind of sing-songy song, and there's probably there are. Let me go to my page. Super excited. There are about 7 voices. Okay. And they're singing, you got caught and you're to blame. Now you have to play our game. And so if everyone wants to switch over to Roll20, I believe you should be seeing what I'm seeing, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, again, I'm not seeing anything, so.
You see a blank map? Okay, shoot. How do I make you guys see this?
While you figure this out, I'll take a quick second to go take a pee, because...
okay, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Page settings. Damn, nope, that's not it. Incidentally, does anyone know how I can show you this page? Okay. Can you do it yourselves? If you go and click the page, do you guys have a page in the top right of your map? Like a little page toolbar?
I've got our characters, but that's about it.
Not that. Oh, wait, maybe... Oh, shit, what did I just do? Okay.
Well, unrelated to you guys futzing, because I can't do anything about it since I'm
right.
I figured out a good way to roll my dice.
Oh, yeah?
Probably, like, close... Yeah, I'm just, like, rolling it down my leg, because I'm wearing shorts, and it's working, so...
Fantastic. Well, good.
Girl, use your thighs. Use your thighs, girl.
Use your thighs.
Boy, I am.
Dang. How do I do this? Okay, hold on. I'm going to Google it real fast. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize that this was going to be a thing I was going to have to be ready for. Pages. Roll20. Let's see here. Okay, games come. There's multiple pages. Yep. Switching between pages, cool. GM can quickly switch between pages anytime. The players will see whichever page you place the bookmark on. Oh, okay. Well, that's easy enough. There. Can you guys see it now? Yes.
I like it. Look at it. Look real good.
It's not amazing. Also, I gave all of you guys like temporary little dudes until we figure out like what we're doing with that.
It's got my name. I like it.
It does.
I'm having to look at Matt's shared screen, so I'm like,
oh.
God, I feel like an old lady. I'm like, what? What are you telling me? You kids these days in your electronic pages.
Okay, so like, how do I ping? See, is it like that? Nope. Ping, ping, ping. How to ping? Well, I guess I don't need to be able to ping, whatever. That's fine. Oh, how'd you do that? Who did the thing? And how?
You hold down your left click.
Hold down left click. Okay, perfect. Cool. Okay, easy enough. I also should have it set up so that you guys can move your own characters, but not each other's. But this is kind of like your approach. So.
Okay.
Where is Owl at? Oh, there you are. Hi. Wasn't looking at this board.
I didn't
Okay.
even realize Owl came back. Whoa.
So,
Stealth to the next level, my dude.
he did roll really good on his stealth. Okay, so the Quickling is this creature here in, and she leads you into this sort of clearing. This rock here is like a large. It looks probably between 5 and 10 feet up in the air. And these here are a sort of makeshift stairway up to it.
Okay.
And all around are creatures, sort of dancing and singing, but they don't look like the Quickling. They're tiny gray creatures with no hair, and they've got like kind of big bulgy eyes. And one of them, this one by the fire, is actually adorned with with bones and little scraps of leather. He appears to be the leader. And he turns and he greets the Quickling, and he says, "Kyr'nes, you found them. We can play the game." And all the other creatures all give us a cheer.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
I feel like I kind of take a very deep breath in to gather myself for a moment before going up to like the game master and kind of like clearing my throat for a moment before like speaking in Sylvan and just being like, "So what exactly is this game you'd like us to play?"
He's very excited that you're speaking to him in his language, and he says, "Today's game is Red Apple, Red Man," and all of the sprites around him, they're not sprites, all the creatures around him, they all chant, "Red Apple, Red Man."
And what exactly does the game Red Apple, Red Man entail?
Well, he points to a tree, and he says, "See here at the bottom of this tree," and at the bottom of the tree is a makeshift cage of brambles and vines and sticks. And inside of it is Rakan.
Oh.
He's beaten, he's battered, he's bloody. He doesn't look great. He looks a little shaken. And he says, "That is the man." And he points at the top of the tree and says, "That's the apple." And you look up the tree and see Shazix tied about 15 feet up with an apple on his head that's been tied down with a vine. And he looks even worse off than his brother.
God.
He looks like he's on the brink of death. He's sort of barely conscious, bleeding.
Oh.
It's not pretty. He says, we will bring you a bow. This is a test of marksmanship.
Oh shit. I kind of mumble that under my breath. Shit.
You fire 3 arrows, and you win if you hit the apple, and everyone says, ah! Or if you hit him, and points to Shazix, who's still tied in the tree.
Can I use message and point to the quickling and ask her, is there anything we can do to get out of here? Like, is there any trick?
He looks at you and says, you have to play the game.
Okay. 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 Can I then use message on the one in the cage? I can't remember her name. Rakan, and ask him like, is there a way for you to get out? Do you know what we should do?
They disarmed me.
Okay.
Wait, no, actually, you can't talk to him because you don't speak Draconic.
Oh yeah, so he mumbles something in Draconic, and I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Hey.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a quick glance around. Do I see their weapons and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Rakan and Shazix's weapons have been set. Let's see here. They've been set against this far tree here. Pretty close to them, though, but pretty far from you guys. So, who will play our game?
There's only one person get to play.
Only one. If you lose, you have to show us a game.
I guess. I look at them and I look at you guys and I'm like, well, I'm pretty good at throwing stuff, and I'm pretty dexterous. Is that a word?
That's a word.
So, I mean, I can volunteer, maybe, unless you guys have some better ideas.
It's on Sylvan.
Okay, I'm gonna lean over to Kyr'nes and be like, essentially tell him the whole spiel. We have to hit that apple, or one of their friends, to kind of win, but that might accidentally mean if we hit the guy, he might die. And we only get 3 tries, and only one person can do it.
I'm gonna take a glance over at Oriana. Does she catch my gaze?
I mean, she can, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And I'm just gonna gesture at the weapons and just kind of go from there.
She shrugs at you.
Fun.
So I'm like, okay, so no one has any other plan?
My focus is more on healing and protecting. My aim isn't very good.
Oriana looks at Blue and she says, do you think that we can trust them? And Blue says, I don't know. I'm not familiar with these creatures either. They're foreign to me, but I mean, it would be the least violent way out.
Okay, so I'll use message again and point to Zogle and tell and whisper him like, I know you're pretty good with in the forest, and I know you know your way around, and you seem like a pretty someone that is good with strategy and making plans. Do you have anything in mind?
Maybe you're gonna have to follow my lead on this.
Okay.
In common, I wander up. Well, are we sure we don't want to play our game first?
Well, we can play both, but I think that your friend in the tree might want to get this one over with, because we're not letting him down till the game's over.
You're right, but in a matter of speaking, he can hang out.
They all laugh. They all think that's hilarious.
But you seem to be an individual who loves new games.
Well, I am the game master.
Yes, it seems. So, we could play your game first.
Uh-huh.
Which you know the rules to, and you've done before.
Ah, but Red Apple Red Man is a new game.
Or you can play my game first, which you don't know, and it's brand new.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Can I look at the guy's eyes and say like, yeah, it's a really good game, and help out Zogle with the persuasion?
Only because you're a bard.
Okay.
If anyone else tried that, I wouldn't allow it.
See, it's good. So, are you rolling,
Hello?
Matt?
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 So 14?
Yep, sorry, hold on.
Okay. What you do?
I apparently messed up my character sheet, so I was just trying to get it back real quick.
Okay, so 14 total?
Yes, 14 total.
Okay. He says, we love games. We'd love to play your game after.
Well, who's our best shot then?
Well, I think I am. I think that's me. I'm pretty good with bows. Well, yeah.
Okay. He waves over this goblin over here by the tree. Let me put this tree to the back. There we go. Now I can control this goblin. Well, excuse me, not goblin. They're not goblins.
I was like, goblin? I thought they were all gone already.
And he he comes over. Whoop. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, he gets over here, and he hands you a bow. Wait, nope, Azure. He hands you a bow.
Yeah.
This bow is gnarly looking.
Okay.
It's made from like kind of dried branches that are like woven together for the wooden part, and the string, the bowstring, looks like a rose stem. Except that it's very flexible, so it has thorns on the string.
Okay.
That doesn't seem like a very reliable bow.
I look at the bow and I look at him. I'm like, so that's all you've got as a bow? Maybe I could use my lair and use the string from my lair to make a better bow, and maybe use a couple of branches, do you mind if I make maybe I could make my own bow? Maybe that would be fun, right?
Oh, but isn't our bow good enough?
Yes, I'm scared.
Well, my name is Azure, and I'm not really a fan of green. And I can clearly see that, like the bowstring is made out of thorns, and it's green. I'd prefer something more that would fit more with my outfit.
Oh, but the thorns make it fun. Come along, Azure. And he grabs you by the hand and starts to pull you towards the rock.
Can I try to charm him?
You can try, yeah.
Okay, with charm person.
Sure.
Okay, I'll. So you attempt to charm you. Oh, is he not a humanoid though?
Let me see. Where is my Volos? There it is. Okay, and it's on page. Let's see. He is a. Hold on, almost there. Real close.
It's okay.
Close. He is not a humanoid. He is a fae.
Okay, well, never mind.
I apologize. That would have been good.
It's okay. Okay. Well, I'm ready to blow some arrows. Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, would it be possible for me to try to convince him speaking in Sylvan, because he seemed to like that earlier, to maybe let Azure make his own bow and be like, "Oh, your bow is very lovely." One of the prettiest.
Yeah, I'll let you do.
Should I roll?
I'll let you try a persuasion check, yeah, but with no advantage because this has already been tried, so no one can give you advantage.
Okay. Okay. I still get my
Your bonus, yeah.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
He's gonna have to pull that up because I don't have my character sheet.
Ah, yes.
$15.
Okay. Yeah, they don't. They really, really want you to use that specific bow.
Okay.
I tried.
Yeah, you probably would have had to roll a 20, honestly. They really, really like this game.
Okay. Well, I tried. I'm sorry, Azure.
Okay, it's okay. Okay, so I take the bow and
as you take it from his hand,
yeah.
Your arm feels just slightly weaker.
Jesus. Of course. Okay.
Of course.
Okay. And I'm like, I know what's going on. Basically, I'm like, okay, yeah. Well.
Yeah.
So I pick an arrow.
Mm-hmm.
And can I? Oh, okay. Can I hide it under my cloak?
Sure.
Okay.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Okay. Wait.
And I'll roll it against their perception.
Pray to God.
Two.
I gotta wait. Sleight of hand +2. I got 11.
11? Okay. As you put it under your cloak, one of the ones that is closest to you kind of gives a little giggle because he's really excited to see what you're gonna do.
Okay.
But he doesn't say anything about it.
Okay. Okay. So my plan is going as I wish. Okay, so I Okay, how do I do that? Okay, so I use silent image, and I create my own arrow with it.
Okay.
And I smile at the other guy, and I'm like, I got this. And I act like I'm pulling out the arrow, and then I use my I'll use my my actions points. Can I do that? Can I? I'll use my action point to make the arrow move towards the apple.
Okay. That's let me take a look at silent image really quick. Let me just make sure. Let's see here. Silent image. Let's see, range up to 60 feet, concentration of 10 minutes. Okay. Create an image larger than 15 foot cubed. Okay. Huh. You can alter its appearance as movement appears natural. Creature that. Okay. So I am going to have the one that saw you hide it make an intelligence check to see if he realizes that this arrow is a fake.
Okay.
Okay. So let me do that real fast.
I know. I'm just like, I'm crossing my fingers. Not like Endr's crossing your fingers, but.
Oh my god, he crit fumbled that. Yeah, so he actually he has no idea.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, you shoot it. What do you? What does the arrow do when it hits the apple? What happens?
So basically, since it's a silent image, it just goes through it without making a hole. And I'm like, oh, I made it, guys!
I did it.
Yeah, and they're ecstatic. You did the thing. You shot at your friend, and you like hit the apple. That was really impressive.
Yeah, I know.
Can we get our friends, please?
He says yes, cut them down. They let the one out of the cage. They cut the other one down from the tree.
Oh god.
Good job. I've run this multiple times, and I was pretty sure he was going to die. So, yeah, you managed to get him to. They get onto the ground. So let me update our map. Damn, you're the first person who didn't try to shoot one of them. See, there you go. Okay, so now you have Shylox and Rakan. They're beaten, they're bloodied, but they are alive. And the game master says, "Oh, well, now your game. What was your game? What was it?"
Oh, I'm just in so much shock and awe about how amazing my friend is. I'm gonna need some time to recover. Oh my goodness.
We'll find you again next time.
Oh, definitely next time for sure.
Yeah. And he looks.
I feel like I kind of like scuttle over to like the two lizard men, and I'm like, okay, they need help. And I cast I need my spells. Yes, there it was. I was healing elixir. I'm like,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and how much healing do you do for them? Okay, so 2d4 plus 2.
Do I roll that or?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, hold on, wait. Where's my D4? Hold on.
Fine.
Oh, okay, here it is. Sorry, it's getting kind of dark in my room, so I couldn't see it very well. So two of these. Okay, so okay. First one's 2. Second one's 2. Plus
Okay,
2,
so they
6.
So they get 6 back. That's really good for them. So that's awesome.
Thank.
Cool. So the game master turns to you.
To me?
And he said, no, to excuse me, to Azure, and says, "Great bowman, please do us the honor of taking our bow with you."
Oh.
Oh, yeah,
Thanks.
it will be an honor. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. My arm is still like, kind of like, kind of, feeling bizarre still.
It is not well, only if you're holding the bow, basically. So if you put the bow down, it stops feeling like that. But if you pick it back up, it feels like that.
Okay. Can I, if I put it in my back, like if I is that, do I feel okay?
Yes. Yeah. So basically, how we'll rule it is if you have it equipped, then you feel the weakness. But if you don't, then it's not there.
Okay. Okay. I'll put it in my backpack, and I'll say, wow. Well, in Sylvan, I'll say, well, thank you very much. You have pretty eyes, you know.
Oh, thank you.
Can I ask him? So now that we're good friends, and we are now basically like teammates.
Sure.
Can you could we maybe take a quick rest over here, or use maybe I don't know, use your great sense of you know a lot about nature, a lot about it, that kind of stuff. Maybe we could use you to investigate just a couple of trees that we've seen around that are kind of dead.
Oh, and all the little guys around him are all, oh yes, the trees. We've seen them. Someone's playing a nasty game.
Okay. Do you know anything about that game?
He switches to common because he realizes some of you others probably don't know.
Okay.
He says, well, there are creatures in a camp to the north. We haven't seen.
Camp?
Yes, they cut down trees, and use it for wood, but also we haven't seen how they do it. But they come and they find the trees. They have a sort of, and he he points to Oriana and makes kind of a like that motion on her stomach, sort of mimicking a if she was pregnant.
Mm.
And he says they have sort of that, and they come and these great beasts chop it out, and a creature comes out.
Okay.
I feel like I kind of overhear this while I'm doing my potion whatnots to help lizard men. I'm just kind of stepping up for a moment before going back to my work.
Does this finally click what I had rolled before? What that means?
He hasn't really given you much new information on the tree itself, just that it has something to do with the camp. So not really, because he doesn't understand the mechanism of it.
So where were the creatures heading to?
They go back to the camp and they cut wood.
Okay.
Right.
We cut wood.
Game Master, do you have a way for us to travel quickly?
I mean, you guys could travel quickly if you wanted to. All you have to do is say.
No, I like, because it's a way off. I was wondering if they had like a way to do quickly and silently.
Oh, you're talking to the game master, not the dungeon master.
No,
okay.
no, not DM. The
Got
guy
you.
that we're talking to. My bad.
Got you. He says, no, we would have brought the game to you. Our quickling is the fastest.
Okay. Is there anything in this camp that you could maybe, since I'm such a good, I'm such a good archer, maybe there's something else in the camp that you could give us, as since we're now besties, we're friends, we hang around, and maybe, I got a pretty cool dagger that I could exchange you for something you have in the camp. Maybe that would help us.
He looks around and sort of now examining the dirt of the camp, sort of because you were all looking up, maybe this went unnoticed before, but the dirt is it's like someone built a great fire here, and it's ash. Yeah, and he sort of kicks his foot through the ash, and he says, well, you could feel free to kick. Sometimes you kick up a piece of goblin leather or something like that. We don't keep anything from other games. It's we play until there's a winner, and then the winner can have whatever we make for them, like that bow.
Oh, okay. Well, to represent our friendship, I'll give you what do I want to give them?
What? Where are you going with that? I was like, gonna give them?
I'm gonna give them. I got a candle that I'm gonna give them. So I hand him over a candle. I'll give you this gift in proof of our friendship.
A candle! And they all get very excited, and he says, we can play the candle jumping game.
Handle jumping?
Yes, you see, we're all very, very flammable, and we jump over the candle, and whoever catches on fire loses.
Well,
Zogle's gonna lift a finger as if he's gonna say something, and then he's just gonna go. Okay.
Well, thank you very much. Maybe we could take a quick rest and keep going somewhere, guys.
You are welcome in our camp anytime.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome to my camp anytime too. And I look at him straight in the eye.
Do you play games?
Yeah. We'll see. When you get there. We'll see.
Girl, you ain't ready for those kind of games.
Okay. So we take a short rest, or
We didn't really do. None of us took damage, and it would take a long rest to get any spell slots back. So we could just go.
yeah.
Or I guess lizard guys could take the short rest to heal a little.
Yeah, and I think I probably am just like now finishing up my whatnots to give to them, so.
Yeah. Okay.
So a short rest. Would we? So it is 9 o'clock. Are we calling it an evening there? Is that a good place to stop?
That is a good stop, actually.
I don't mind at all.
You don't mind calling it there, or you don't mind? What do you not mind, Al?
I don't mind either way goes. I don't mind at all. I'm working from home tomorrow, so
Okay.
Pretty content either option.
Okay.
I'm kind of either way. All I know is that the library's open 24 hours, so I can just kind of go whenever we're done. So.
Okay. All right. Do you guys want to play a little longer?
Sure.
I could, yeah. It's
Okay.
up to you if you are the DM, so it's up to you.
Yeah. I mean, I have more prepared, so I'm.
Oh, okay.
Onwards we go then.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you guys take a short rest. The lizard men refuse to stay in the camp. Like, they wander off 30, 40 feet, like, away from any of the creatures, and they'll take a rest. The creatures start playing the candle jumping game.
Do we watch any of them burst into flames?
Yeah, they all seem pretty spry right now, and the game master tells you, "Oh, we'll jump over it for several days before someone gets tired enough to fall on." We have ways of making it last longer.
Well, interesting. Okay.
Is there any way that when people aren't really paying attention, Zogle's just gonna kind of try to very subtly cast infestation on one of the jumpers?
Sure. Yeah. What does infestation do?
You make a save. If you fail, you have to move a certain. You have to move a random direction, and you have to pat your trying to get the fleas off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you want to. Sure. So, let's see. Sorry, you said it's a dex save or what kind of save? What kind of save?
Give me una momento. I'm reading
Okay.
through it. Oh, it's a Constitution save.
Constitution save. They're much worse at that than dexterity. Okay. Oh yeah. So and can I get a sleight of hand check from you just to see how stealthily you do this?
Hold on una momento.
I'm gonna go turn on my light so that way within the next half an hour I just don't become a dark void.
All right.
Natural 20.
Natural. Yeah, no one sees it.
Nice.
Nobody sees it. And one of them, you cast it on him just as he's about to jump, and he gets distracted and just falls straight onto the candle. And they're all sort of covered in this sort of oil. And he goes up. Like, there's no chance for him to stop, drop, and roll. He's just fire.
Game Master, you're I think a friend lost.
He turns to look at the candle, and everyone cheers. Yeah, he's screaming. He's not having fun anymore. But how much?
Anybody got a bucket?
I have a cauldron, but I'd rather you not put a dead Fae in there.
I more meant water to put him out, but okay.
Yeah, he's and as you guys watch, he expires pretty quickly. He's very flammable.
Oh, poor child.
Yeah. Cool. So Belvar starts to get a little impatient after, enough time has passed, and he says, "It's time to go. Enough of this."
Yeah. Okay.
Of course,
So-
Belvar.
Okay. Yeah. For me, I'm gonna go towards Belfar.
Okay. He starts to lead you guys out of camp. The creatures, all except for the one that's dead, wave at you. one of his friends kind of grabs his arm and just sort of like they don't. You get the sense that they don't really like value each other's lives very much, as much as they value like games.
Yeah, I got that definitely.
Fun question. Did I get any experience off of his death?
Yeah, okay, remind me of that later. And you've all gotten experience for the past 2 sessions. I forgot to tell you at the end of the last session.
Oh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. So you guys, you start making your way further north. The lizardmen refuse to leave now. Like, in fact, they won't even stand at the front of the party. Like, they are stuck in the middle. Wait, Kyr'nes. I didn't even have to look that time. Kyr'nes, you can kind of understand them, sort of talking to each other, checking in with each other. They have a really vulnerable moment where Shazix talks about how scared he was and how he thought he was going to die, and you kind of get the sense that like they're not all badass all the time, like, and that they really deeply care about each other. Yeah, Rakan kind of snaps at you a little bit, like with his jaw, but Shazix sort of nods and says, "You saved us. We owe you a debt." Cool. So they, hearing Shazix say that to you, Rakan sort of chills out a little bit. As you advance through the forest, they talk to you, Kyr'nes, about about how they've been in situations like that before, and they.
I hear a yapping pupper.
That's my pupper. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Never apologize for Doggo.
No, let us hear the child.
And Shazix says, when we were very young, we lived on an island a long way away.
Sorry, my boyfriend just tried to call me.
You're okay. You're okay. We lived on an island very, very far away, and it was beset by a dragon. We are all that each other have. That's why we need. That is why we need the money, so that we can go back and kill it.
Okay, there we go.
Cool. And they kind of chat with you. Thank you. And they really seem like to appreciate that.
Having not the faintest what these people are talking about, I'm gonna look at Oriana and be like, can you ask your friends what they saw before they were captured? If they got to the camp or not?
Oh, that's a good idea. She kind of approaches and addresses Rakan, and And he replies to her, "We made it to the camp. There are minotaurs. We saw an Etten, and some plant creatures. We saw Jas from very far away, but we did not get close to him. There are walls around the encampment, but
Razz dead.
Oh no, Razz!
I'm here. Don't worry.
Okay.
My boyfriend is asking about important whatnots about when we're traveling together, so I kind of have to him.
Do your thing.
I'm still here, though. I can hear. I'm not dead. I'm alive.
Okay.
I promise. Don't worry. I'm here.
Okay. And he says there are 3 gates into the camp, 2 which face an open field and 1 which faces the forest. There are smoke plumes, which just seem to be just consistently rising above the camp. They're burning constantly.
I'm alive. Hello.
That is when we were captured by the creatures.
They were speaking in Draconic, so we don't.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes.
But
So we're all like.
But I think that Oriana would translate for you.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah.
If you were captured by the weird, strange little gremlins, were you given to them, or I don't understand? You made it to the camp, but then you were captured. I suppose these little ones didn't seem to want to get anywhere near something that could hurt them.
He turns and looks at you. And he clearly didn't understand anything you said.
Oriana, could you translate?
Oriana translates, and he says boggle, and that's like a word that sounds non-draconic to you, and that like gets mixed in with some of the other draconic stuff. She turns and she says, "They're called boggles. They told him that. Apparently they're travelers and they have quite a way with language." And he says that as they were surveying the camp, they were snuck up on by the boggles, and that they never saw them coming. But that they're not with the camp at all.
Okay.
Don't worry, I won't tell anybody that you got snuck up on.
I'm not going to translate that.
Can I like do, I don't know, Arcana or something to like figure out what is up with the bow exactly?
Yeah, actually, if you want to, you can attune to it, or you can try to do, because like you couldn't necessarily figure out exactly what it does unless you cast like detect magic on it or identify on it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you attune to it, then that would be possible.
And attuning to it would mean
it takes up one of your attunement slots, and it just means that you can effectively use a magic item, kind of thing, and you also like learn its properties, basically.
Yeah, I'll attune to it.
Okay, cool. We can say that maybe you do that as you walk. This bow, so it has a magical property to it. This is a magical item.
Okay.
The thorns on the bow. Okay, basically how it works is whenever you make an attack with this bow, you subtract 1 from your attack roll. The the bow deals 1d4 damage to whoever shoots it, and then that d4 is added to the damage roll of the arrow.
Okay. Does the item have a name?
It does not have a name, but you can name it if you like.
Okay. I'll call her Jessica.
Jessica, okay.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, so basically it's just it'll hurt you for a little bit of extra damage. Anyone can use it without attuning to it, but if you're attuned to it, you can choose whether to use the extra damage. It will always be a -1 on your shot, though.
Okay. Okay. Well, can you outside of the game, can you
Yes,
write it
I will
down?
send it to you. I will send it to you.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So.
Yeah.
Okay. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So they lead you through the woods, and a little over an hour, maybe like an hour and a half passes, and you can clearly see 3 smokestack kind of situations going on.
Mhm.
About 5 minutes later, you emerge into a valley that has been almost completely deforested.
Oh.
There are stumps, but there are no real trees in it, and it definitely wasn't a valley before, right? Like there's probably a good half mile to a mile of forest that extended outward from where you're standing. And to your left side, you've emerged to the right of the lumber camp.
Zogle's almost going to stop breathing, just upset, just looking.
Yeah.
So like there's smoke, right?
Yeah, there's 3 smoke plumes.
Okay. Can I do a survival check to maybe figure out, is that survival or nature? I don't know. You
What are you
figure it
trying
out. What the smoke is? Can I figure out like is it just yeah? Go ahead.
Yeah, you've smelled it before. It's just the smell of burning wood, basically. There's no extra thing to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe, I guess, okay, more... Actually, yes, give me a perception check.
Okay.
With smell. We got here.
Persuasion. So perception. I got a 10.
You got a 10? Okay, yeah, so that's probably good enough. There's a faint metallic smell. You aren't positive, but you think they might be running forges.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Can I? I'm gonna let the others try something.
What's everybody doing?
Guys, it smells like metal.
For the record, anyone who's out there is probably screaming at me like, forges don't smell like metal, but we'll say they do.
Yeah.
No, but you can definitely smell like copper and whatnot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've never been around a forge, so good enough.
Yeah, I definitely told you guys like, okay, yeah, there's smell of metal or something.
Yep. Yeah, sure. That works. $11. It is kind of a niche skill, so I'd say that's probably not enough to figure it out. Sorry. Worth a shot for sure.
It's sure something.
Right.
I don't even think Zogle can help. He's just in shock. Just thoroughly upset.
Yeah, I will say for you, Kyr'nes, it is not a draconic metal. It is not one of the metals that is like related to dragons. So, and then you guys are in shock. Okay. As you guys watch from further off to your right side, a group of people emerges. Well, a group of humanoids, we'll say.
Okay.
At the front of the pack is a minotaur.
Oh.
A very hefty man, and he's carrying an axe over his shoulder, and the axe is like bigger than his head.
Oh.
Which is big because he's a minotaur.
Yeah.
There are two creatures behind him that appear to be partially made of plants. I would so do Zogle, because you have some idea. Upon seeing the creatures, I will let you make a nature check to see if you can figure out what they are.
Okay, hold on.
We shall see.
We shall see.
Time shall tell.
Did I see the ting? It's a 19.
A 19? Yes, you know what these are.
And they are.
Let me pull up the page so that I give you guys enough information. They are blights. So, yeah, they're not particularly happy. Let's see, 30. Okay, so blights come from a. Let's see here. Where's the name? Okay, so you know that the corruption that causes blights to grow within trees is caused by an entity known as a Goliath tree. The Goliath tree corrupts the surrounding land, and it's sort of an exponential growth kind of a thing. Like blights live to create blights and to corrupt the land. Yeah. But these ones appear to be working with the Minotaur, which is unusual for them. Normally, they would not work with anything that is not another servant of the Goliath tree.
These creatures are only here to destroy things. We have to start with them.
Well.
With my role, would I know their weakness? Zogle, not Matt, obviously.
I mean, you've never encountered them, but this would be like a druidy thing. So I'll have you make a wisdom check. Just a straight wisdom check to see if maybe that part stuck. Because you've never encountered them, but it's definitely a possibility that you have been told.
Nope! I got a 6.
A 6?
Yeah, no.
Oh, boy. Try fire?
Yo, they plants.
They plants, try fire. And they are about to move past you guys towards the camp. Are you going to hide from them? Or are you going to confront them? You're going to walk out in front. Okay. Okay.
He did.
Go ahead, and that would be intimidate. You're a charisma caster. You might get something. Okay.
Well, you tried.
As you're walking out, Belvar like looks at you and he's like shocked. He's like, "Oh my god, what is this guy doing?" And he tries to stop you and he distracts you. And so you've like got this plan to be this big intimidating dude, but then you hear Belvar and you're like, "Oh wait, maybe not. Like maybe this isn't gonna work." But you're already too far out to like pull back. So yeah, the Minotaur immediately takes his axe and stomps his foot and bellows at you. And with that incredible Minotaur bellow, we'll pick this up next week. Let's find out.
Next time on D&D.
I will say, you guys have leveled up. You've definitely gained enough experience.
Oh, we might stand a chance then. I might be. We might got this.
So I'm going to give you guys 100 for joining the adventure and convincing them to let you come along. I'm going to give you, let's see, Matt, you get 25 for your boggle kill.
Woohoo!
Let's see. All of you are going to get we'll call it 250 for navigating Red Apple, Red Man without getting. Well, okay, so no, because I had planned to do the experience in like 3 tiers. One of them being you didn't complete the game, or both of the lizardmen died.
Oh.
One of them being one of the lizardmen died, and the other one being that neither of them died. Which, I mean, I was ready. I was ready for you to like peg that one in the forehead, like.
Such keeping us dungeon. Our high and mighty dungeon master.
Well, I'm dead serious. I've run that encounter 3 times. Both times they tried to shoot the game master. One time they shot the apple, and one time they shot him in the head. So, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I was sitting on a thunder wave. I was just like, alright, bitches.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you guys did great. So we're gonna say that you guys get I'll give you an extra 100. So we'll call it like 350 experience for that. I hope this is good enough. And Owl, because of your incredible use of minor illusion, I will grant a silent image. I will grant you an extra 50 experience on that.
I'm really proud of that play, by the way.
That was really cool.
Oh,
that was.
I was sure because as soon as you're like, oh yeah, you know, it goes for it and it looks like it hits the apple, but it doesn't leave a mark on it. I thought for sure as soon as they brought down the lizard man, that they're gonna see that there was no actual arrow in the apple and go like, you didn't do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say something to the effect of because that lizard man. Okay, so the thing about those two, one of them is a rogue and the other one's a ranger. So the one that was up there is a rogue. So I was gonna say something to the effect of, oh, he sleight of handed away and they didn't notice. And I almost didn't let you do that. I almost was like, no, he didn't fire a real arrow. And then I was like, you know what? Good for you.
Really cool.
You were clever.
Yeah, if the Boggle hadn't like fumbled his intelligence roll, that might not have gone so well. But
It almost would have been more hilarious to have the ranger up there just for the irony.
For sure. But yeah, hey, great job, you guys. So I will allow you to level up before you do this encounter. So come to next week with level 2s prepared. And yeah.
My sheet G.
Ooh, girl, this is gonna get messy.
This is going to get messy. I actually have to check the challenge level real fast. See, I might have to. Well, okay. And the other thing is, there's 8 of you now, so it's not like I have to nerf it. Like, it'll be a fair fight, I think.
I think.
I got them level 1 monsters, guys. I am excited.
It's definitely not level 1. That's. Oh, okay.
No, but
It's gonna be great.
I'm happy, Glacier, that you made your character jump in front of them, because that's very like. I feel like that's something that your character would actually do.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited. I didn't think anyone was going to do that. I thought you were going to hide.
Before the next game, I'm going to roll a wisdom saving throw just to see if my character's going to just let you die. I'm just going to be like,
Well, don't worry, Glacier. You have Oriana and Belvar. They'll protect you.
Yeah.
Will they?
Maybe. I mean, you're not part of their guild, so technically they don't have to.
Yeah, and I saved the. I helped saving the guys, so they better help us.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and I healed them, so.
Yeah. Alrighty, you guys. Do you want to all do our plugs and stuff, and then we'll call it a game?
Yeah.
Okay, Razz, do you have anything to plug?
No, still like last week, I have zilch to plug.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Well, you're great anyway, and we really appreciate you playing.
Thank you.
her plug is that she's uber cute.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Cool.
Matt.
Alrighty. And Al, do you want to do your plug?
Hi, I am Azure, the Bard, and I got something to say. You can find me at SleepingOwl everywhere, anywhere, even on OnlyFans. Just kidding, I don't have that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so, twitch.tv/SleepingOwl, and that's me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Glacier? Cool. I'll let Matt wrap up since it's his channel, and I'll take this one. I am KidInfinite, the DM. I stream on Twitch 5 nights a week. Friday was my 100 follower celebration stream, and we played 10 hours of Undertale and 100-foot robot golf.
Oh, God.
It was fun. Normally I stream 4 hours any night except for Monday when I do this. Although I think actually I'm going to go and stream Undertale after this. Yeah. Just so everyone knows that I didn't disappear. 5 nights a week over at KidInfinite. Follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, follow me everywhere. And Matt, if you want to go ahead and do yours, and we'll get out of here.
Okie dokie. Well, obviously we do the D&D on Mondays, but Wednesdays I also do a D&D game with Snooze the Druid. We're doing Friendship Fridays now, which is kind of cool. And then on Sundays we do Photoshop Sundays over on my channel. Yeah, otherwise you can find me on Instagram, Matthatter246, I think. And then, it's basically all I do is just sit and act like I know what I'm doing. I have no idea.
Don't we all?
No.
That is the
Yeah.
largest mood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty, you guys. Make sure that you've got your level 2s next week. Pick out all your level 2 spells. Well, actually, you probably don't have any more spells. You probably have maybe a spell slot. But have a good one, and I'll catch you later.
Catch y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.